Good evening, and welcome to Sacred Heart Music Center here in Duluth, Minnesota. My name is Brett Ross. I'll be your host for tonight's installment of Live from the Heart, Songwriters, Storytellers series featuring local songwriters, their creative process, and some stories behind their work. Tonight's live stream is supported by the Minnesota State Arts Board and highlights the finest music talent in the Northland. And no exception tonight, our guest is a singer, songwriter, producer, multi-instrumentalist, muck-luck maker, radio DJ, and much more. We'll talk about all those things with him tonight. Please welcome Christopher David Hanson.
Thank you. Well, I've been wondering about that whippoorwill and how strange songs hit you in the perfect way. And I've been spinning around on this carousel for so long, I just throw my shoes away. Stars out in the Milky Way. I'm just sitting on the lake shore pondering the sky and every single drop of rain. Well, the song they sang is something about it rings so true. Don't need a single word to get your message through. And all the animals are doing it now, even my dog can too. So just listen as a whippoorwill sings that song, whistling just for you. Well, I've been thinking about your gravity and how my heart is kind of like a big old moon. It's got lots of craters and lots of cracks pulling on your tide, trying to make your shorelines crash. And we can settle for a perfect view up in the bleachers, just so I can watch you dance. Won't you tell me about that whippoorwill one more time? You always save the best for last. And the song they sang it, well, something about it rings so true. You don't need a single word to get your message through. And all the animals are doing it now, even my dog can too. Just listen as the whippoorwill sang that song, whistling just for you. Well, the song they sang it, yeah, not something about it rings so true. I don't need a single word to get your message through. And all the animals are doing it now, even my dog can too. Just listen as a whippoorwill sing that song, whistling just for you. Listen as a whippoorwill sings that song, whistling just for you. Listen as a whippoorwill sings that song, whistling. Oh Lord, she's whistling. Oh, just the yeah, oh, yeah. Thank you so much. There's a little song called Anchors. Trying to find a comfortable spot where I can breathe. But the intervals of waves are so random I can't sleep the way I used to. Nothing really mattered much to me. The ignorance of bliss I miss, it's something pure and free. Tried to walk the old footprints, but they don't fit my feet like these shoes do. The memories are washing out to sea. Yeah, the anchor at the bottom is pulling down on the ship I'm trying to be. Yeah, the anchor at the bottom is pulling down on the ship I'm trying to be. Well, the chain is long and it rattles round. Sometimes I feel free. I find my joy in little things that most people never see. That's okay. That's okay with my little dog and me. And the course I charted long ago, well, it seems laughable today. And the straight lines I had planned, well, now they bend in every way, but still I move. I'm throwing all the maps I made away. Yeah, the anchor at the bottom is pulling down on the man I'm trying to be. Yeah, the anchor at the bottom is pulling down on the man I'm trying to be. But lo and behold, lighthouse keeps shining on the dangerous rocks near the coast. And nobody knows how many gave up their breath looking for the treasure below. We argue with ghosts as heavy as anchors that keep us from growth. And we argue with ghosts as heavy as anchors that keep us from growth. We argue with ghosts as heavy as anchors that keep us from growth. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, I'm going to do a song right now called Beautiful Things. Every door I touch remind me of a city before I threw my heart into the wilderness. Had my fill of self-sabotage and real whiskey. My poor decisions a badge upon my breath. Everyone is vulnerable and everyone's invincible. We've all got dreams that we've overslept. My story might be your story, and I've seen beautiful things that I can't forget. Well now, every window I touch always seems a little dirty, and I only notice 'cause I feel like such a mess. And sometimes my heart is paralyzed, can't feel the love that's in me. Getting my kicks on broken heart now and then. Everyone is vulnerable, everyone's invincible. We've all got dreams that we've overslept. And my story might be your story, and I've seen beautiful things that I can't forget. Well, I promise that I'll get you home, so grab your travel bags and all your clothes. Make the best of the time that we have left. Find a heart and hold it close. Stop dancing with that same old ghost. Get out of your own way and make amends. Everyone is vulnerable and everyone's invincible. We all got dreams that we've overslept. And my story might be your story, and I've seen beautiful things that I can't forget. Well, I've seen beautiful things that I can't forget. Beautiful things that I can't forget. Beautiful things that I can't forget. I've seen beautiful things that I can't forget. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Join me, won't you?
Yes. Hi, Brett.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
It's awesome. It's great to be here.
You're welcome.
Yeah,
I
thank you.
roped you into this.
You did kind of rope me into it. And, I wasn't nervous until you said you were nervous. And I was like, this was your idea, and you brought me into this.
Right.
But I get it now because it's kind of like bring your weird friend to work day for you. So here I am. I'll try to be good.
Well, I get nervous whenever there's not a band backing me up.
For sure.
Whenever I got to stand alone in front of lights. But this is such a beautiful place to be.
What an amazing place.
No effects needed.
No, amazing reverb. Kind of brings back memories of my Catholic school education, and I've already performed a baptism and heard 3 different confessions. So, if you've got anything you want to confess,
there's a lot there. There's a lot to unpack.
Here's your chance. So let's start out. Talk about the first 3 songs that you just performed.
Yes, I started off with Whippoorwill, and that is the title song off of my rock band's latest album. The band's been playing that song for a while, and that is also part of, I do this singer-songwriter group club on Facebook. It's called Singer-Songwriter Songwriting Challenge Group. And we get prompt words in the summer and in the winter. In the summer, it's every week. In the winter, it's every 2 weeks. And that was, what was it? Flourish. Flourish was the word for that song, and that came out of that. And it's a really cool group. There's so many songwriters on there, and as you turn in your songs, you let your peers listen, and then they'll say, that one you got to record, or that needs another chorus, and it's really cool. It's like, and so it's a kind of a nice testing ground for a lot of songs. And a lot of the songs that I'll play tonight were prompt, singer-songwriter challenge songs. Okay. And that was one of them. The word was flourish on that one, and we played that with a few different lineups of the rock band, but most recently just the 3-piece,
Okay. Yeah, I definitely want to get into more about the Songwriter series and some of the prompts and some of the work that you've done on that.
Yep.
The song Anchors, that was, there's a little bit of a Lake Superior vibe in that song.
Yep, that was definitely channeling some Lake Superior stuff in that when I wrote it. And that one ended up on an album, but on one of the band albums, but I ended up playing all the instruments on that one, and it just, the demo, why redo it was kind of the consensus on that. So it made it on the album, and it's kind of a strange version of that song. I really like the acoustic version almost better than like the produced version.
Well, and it sounds absolutely incredible in here.
Yeah, I was really excited to play that here. So that's an older song too. I've been playing that for about 4 years, and I didn't. A lot of the stuff that I'm going to do tonight is fairly recent, and but that was one of the older songs.
And then a newer song that you wrapped up that set with, "Beautiful Things."
Yep, "Beautiful Things." That is also on the new Christopher David Hanson Band album, Whippoorwill. Mm-hmm. I think there's a video. We did a video for that. That's on YouTube. That's the only song on that album that has a video. So far.
Okay.
We'll make more, but that one has a video.
Did you make the video yourself?
I did.
I'm really curious. I definitely want you to get into kind of the videos and some of the projects that you've done with that. Talk about, just right off the bat, talk about the Christopher David Hanson Band, sort of the genesis of that and the progression of it and the changes over the years. Yeah,
so I had gotten clean and sober in 2012, and then it was about a year after that I was like, well, I'm going to do the, follow your dream thing. I want to be in a band. I want to play music. And so we formed a band up here, and I'd been writing songs for lots of years, many, many years. And so we put together a band. About 7 guys were in it to start off with.
That's a big band.
Yeah, yep. So I was on like acoustic electric singing, and then we had an electric guitar player, Carl Anderson was doing that. Craig Lassard on bass, and Brent Sari playing keyboards for us, and we had percussion, we had saxophone. It was a huge band, and we made tens of dollars every show. So
You were like, slow it down a little bit.
Right, but it took off, and we, it was probably within that first year we had enough to do 3 albums.
Okay.
Of songs.
Wow.
So we got a hold of Rich Manson, and we hammered out 3 albums, just one after the other, just 8 months apart. Every album was like about 8 months apart. You can't keep that pace up.
That's a lot.
Yeah, it was a lot. But I mean, we had like thought about putting it all out in one thing, but it's just too daunting.
For sure.
So we did it in like 3 segments, and we ended up doing 4 albums with Rich out at his place.
Talk a little bit about that process, working with Rich. Rich, obviously such a big presence in the Minneapolis music scene. His Sparta Sound Studio up in Sparta, Minnesota.
Yep, that's exactly where we did it.
Legendary recording space.
It is. And it's also a church.
Yeah.
There's also a church. Yeah. So, so we showed up there, and we had the songs rehearsed and ready to go, and we did I think the first album is 11 or 12 songs. We did them all in one day.
Nice.
Yeah, and then came back and did some overdub stuff for vocals and guitar solos and stuff on the next day. But it was a 2-day process.
Wow.
Yeah, he's really easy to work with. You just feel like you're at home, Yeah,
it sounds really efficient too.
It was super efficient. We maybe shot 2 or 3 versions of each song, and then after we got done, we just picked out which was the least worst version of each song, and those are the ones that made it on the album.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was super easy, and I learned a lot. I'd never, made an album like that before. So, and he took us through the whole process. He asked the tough question, well, what are you going to do with it? Because that's kind of the question about any art that anyone makes is, well, that's neat. Now what do you do with it? So we mastered it and manufactured it, distributed it, and the whole process. So that was really cool. Learned a lot.
I bet.
Yeah, I was taking notes the whole time.
And so that had to have been what really planted the seed for you to create your own studio at home.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Rich was also my teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the whole time that we were recording, at first I didn't realize that I was doing it, but I was making mental notes of just the whole process, and I had an in-out box on a laptop with a condenser mic at my house for making the demos.
Yep.
Because that's you got to start with demos, and. Yeah, every time we would do an album, I was like, I think I could do this. And it's just one of those things where I finally got, after that 4th album, I had enough money saved. I was like, I'm gonna buy the mics.
Yeah.
And then you get that point of no return fear, when the expensive mics start showing up, and you're like, oh no, I really have to do this now.
Better do something with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then that was a deep hole.
Right.
And then I had a microphone buying problem for a while.
So it was really interesting timing then when you had really put the equipment together for your studio, and then COVID hit. And you weren't able to tour, weren't able to perform in public. Everything just kind of came to a standstill.
Yep.
But you kept moving right on through.
Yeah, so
in a different way.
Yeah, so so what happened with having your own studio is the demos that you make end up, you go through this, you kind of go through this point of realization where you're like, when you first are making demos, you're just setting up any old mic on any old amp, and after a while, I was like, well, the gear is here. So even when I record my demos, I might as well just record them good. And then that kind of just rolls downhill. And then you're like, I basically now, I used to do 3 processes. I would record the song, I would write it, record it on a phone.
Yep.
Second one, I'd make the demo, and then third one, go into the studio. So 3 times is basically what I would record every song. Now it's
for me, if I'm doing the solo albums like I did during COVID, it's just two. I just write the one on the couch, and then I just set up the real mics, turn on the metronome, and just. So I was skipping a step, and I ended up with the singer-songwriter group, and then the studio in my house. Through COVID, I ended up with like 30 produced songs.
It's really incredible.
Yeah, what were you?
And your very first solo album.
Yep, I did two like that. And there's still a bunch of songs that I don't know, everything opened up and I'm not really doing that anymore, but there's a bunch. There's a catalog of all kinds of recorded.
That's great. And you've produced some other artists in your studio as well.
Yep, Carl Sundquist came in and he did recording. Severio came in, he recorded with us. And going to be doing the Root Beer Lady musical.
The Root Beer Lady musical.
It's going to be done at the studio. Yeah,
awesome.
I'm really excited about that. Yeah, and then basically, I'm kind of a hog with the studio, and I built it for my band.
Sure.
So when we do our albums, I pretty much shut down any bookings. And
right.
I'm just like, you gotta wait till we're done, because when we start the process, I will set up the mics and then I don't touch them. I don't move anything. So when we come in, it's, there's a kind of a continuity to it.
Yep.
So the mics are in the same spot, and we, that Whippoorwill album, that's how we shot that whole thing. Nothing moved. No drum mics moved. Bass, the bass amp came in and out, but everything else on that mic got moved a little bit, but my guitar amps, they set up. There's a whole guitar amp room, and I never moved a mic on that. So, and you could tell when you listen to the album, it's very, it's even.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like at some point you'll kind of, I don't know if marketed is the right word, but kind of put it out there as sort of a destination recording studio for artists? Being that it's in the beautiful Northwoods.
Right.
Near
well,
Ely.
I've kind of just been doing word of mouth, and that's all right for me. I don't know that I want to do anything full-time in life.
Sure.
I don't know. It's busy enough for me where I'm okay with it. I do about Morning Bird, they did their album there, EP there. I do probably 3 other groups a year, and
Okay.
I'm okay with that for
That's
now.
enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I use it.
Yeah. And you've shot a lot of your own videos as well.
Yep. All kinds of
We
videos.
got to have some fun with that a few years back on the Monster in the Woods video.
Yep, we did
with
a Muppet video.
Some puppets from our friend Sean Chosa.
Yep. So, we had this song Monster in the Woods, and Eric Berry from Trampled by Turtles played mandolin on that, and we shot that. We did the recording at Rich Matson's place, and Sean Chosa had these. I was over there talking to him, and he had these Muppets in his house, and I was like, can I borrow those?
Can I borrow your puppets?
So we went out and we shot this video out in the woods of Embarrass in a off-the-grid place of my friend Warren's place, and we learned how to puppeteer, which is a lot harder than you would think. Doing those shots and keeping your arm out of the shot.
I don't know how many times I was like, we got an arm in the shot, and your head's back there too.
Yeah, it was harder than I
Yeah.
A lot of respect for people that make those
For
afterwards.
sure, but a lot of fun and a great
Super
finished product. It's out there. You can find the Monster in the Woods video.
Look it up on YouTube, and it's kid friendly. It's super fun.
Yeah. And you did some work with Mercy's May, who's shot some incredible videos.
Yeah, while City Pages was still a thing, he ended up winning Videographer of the Year. And we shot, I don't know, maybe three videos together, three or four, something like that. Yeah, amazing. That was like being on a movie set working with him. It was legit. Actors and everything. Another huge learning experience. Yeah. Lighting and dollies and it's really cool.
And so to have that experience where it's a full-on production to some of the things that you've done on your own, it's really incredible. You've done just doing drawings, doing your own artwork, and created videos from that.
Yeah.
It's always amazed me that you just decided, I've never done it, but I'm going to try.
I did claymation.
Yeah.
It was 2,500 single pictures.
Wow.
I was like, because COVID was happening, I was like, I'm gonna do claymation. And
Got the time.
I got halfway through and I was like, I have bitten off way more than I can chew. And it was fun though. It was a song called "Jettis of the Forest."
Jettis of the Forest.
Yeah, I might play that after the show's over for everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, this is great. You've got some more songs to play for us.
I do. I've got some more songs. Are you guys ready? Should we do it? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's hear some more music. Want to say a big thank you to the Minnesota State Arts Board for making this live stream possible. And also you can find out more about what's going on here at Sacred Heart Music Center at sacredheartmusic.org. You can also follow them on Facebook and Instagram. And just found this out tonight. Aurora Bear is the next scheduled artist coming up on July 12th. And so once again, let's hear it for Christopher David Hanson.
Thank you so much. Thanks, Brett. This is called Hide. I throw the covers off and I glance around my room. Make a trail through the dirty clothes, there's so damn much to do. The single bed I'm in seems like there's room for two. I keep wishing on a distant sun, a speck of light. I keep wishing on the stars are blazing bright. Put on the clothes that I was wearing yesterday. Make myself invisible, I think I found a way. By the bending of the light and redirection of the rays, I can hide a little longer, wait for you. And I can hide the way invisible things do. I can hide. Oh yeah, I can hide. There's a pile of driftwood out my window by the lake. A cherished piece of art that no one had to make. Here for the moment until it's captured by the waves, floating out to find another shore. Sometimes I feel the same, I want a little more. Found $13 and a couple rolls of dimes in the pocket of a winter coat from 1999. The year that everyone said the world was gonna die. We get all worked up for nothing much at all. And I'm glad we get it wrong from time to time. 'Cause we all hide. Everybody hides. Oh, I know I hide. Everybody hides. I see the dusted space where the boxes used to go. I'm finally cleaning house, folding all my clothes.
I was invisible and it was somehow beautiful. But I'm okay with being seen if it's by you. We got a lot of living left to do. We've got a lot of living left to do. Thank you so much. You saw the last light dipping as the sun went down. Made your way to Minnesota from a red rock town. Traded in the hot nights when your heart got broke. Now you keep a campfire burning so you won't get cold. And your trust got locked up so damn tight. You went swimming in a bottle trying to hide your light. But love's got a way gonna weak your knees. Come sneaking up on you, not a bother in the breeze. Not a bother in the breeze, and not a trouble in the wind. These old house keys will always let you in. Fix a hole in a roof where the rain came in. Not a bother in the breeze, and not a trouble in the wind. Well, little dreams will give you riddles in the middle of the night. All the way from rock bottom to the northern lights. Something had to change, so you made your choice. Found your rhythm in the forest and you found your voice. Not a bother in the breeze, not a trouble in the wind. These old house keys will always let you in. Fix a hole in the roof where the rain came in. Not a bother in the breeze, and not a trouble in the wind. You heard the last cold crackle as the fire died down. Heard a faint train whistle hauling freight southbound. Ooh, there's a peep frog singing with a cricket in a tree. Summer nights like this, not a bother in the breeze. Not a bother in the breeze, or a trouble in the wind. These old house keys always let you in. Fix a hole in the roof where the rain came in. Not a bother in the breeze, not a trouble in the wind. Not a bother in the breeze, or a trouble in the wind. These old house keys will always let you in. Fix a hole in a roof where the rain came in. Not a bother in the breeze, not a trouble in the wind. Not a bother in the breeze, not a trouble in the wind. Not a bother in the breeze, not a trouble in the wind. Thank you so much. Thank you. And that was called Bother in the Breeze. And those first two songs right there are songs I do with an acoustic group that I play with called Wood Song Souvenir. And I'll play some more of that stuff in a little bit. This song is called Stringing Along. Drummer, give me that beat now. Won't play you a song. Had this melody in my head for way too long. See, I was trying to find a story, something important I could tell. I've been looking under rocks and stones in seedy motels. It ain't about a hero or a heartache, far as I can tell. And it might ramble on just a bit too long, oh well. But if you got the time, I've got a song. Just keep stringing along. Oh, na na na, sweet mother on the mountain, a little bit of sugar in my tea. We've been walking in the dark so long with two left feet, and I've been waiting on that sunshine to come and tickle my cheek. Waiting on dreams so long, just like roots from a tree. Yeah. It ain't about cars or money, far as I can tell. I know a little bit about a little bit, and I guess I'm doing well. But if you got the time, I got a song. Just keep stringing along. Well, I've been strung along by lovers, and I've been strung out on wine. Tied and not so tight I can't tell my front from behind. You get a longer shelf life with some slack in the line. Restring your old guitar, she'll play just fine. Yeah, you got the time, I got a song. Just keep stringing along. Well, I've been strung along by lovers, and I've been strung out on wine. But tied and not so tight I can't tell my front from behind. You get a longer shelf life with some slack in the line. Restring your old guitar and she'll play just fine. You got the time and I got a song. Just keep stringing along. Oh yeah, I said if you got the time, I got a song. Just keep on stringing along. Oh, and I said if you got the time, I've got a song. Just keep stringing along. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much. Just check my tune in after that. Trust me, you want me to do this. It's important. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna play another song. This is called "Just a Place to Stay," and this was a song that I had done as a prompt song, and it was a picture prompt, and it was a picture of an old, decrepit farmhouse, and so we had like a week or 2 weeks to write a song about that, and kind of the idea about it that I got out of it was how important the people in the house are as compared to the house itself. So it's called "Just a Place to Stay." Well, the pavement gives moves its stones up to the gravel road, and the mile markers echo back the days, and the crest of braided light where the dawn prepares the night. We count the blessed 1,000 different ways. And the shingles once so strong gave way to creeping moss, and the roar of the run-old door frame, and the well we pump for water, long abandoned, filled with roots. Love is the home, the house is just a place to stay. Love is the home, the house is just a place to stay. And you are my home. You are my home. You are my home. You are my own. And there's a rhythm to the porch boards where the softer woods erode, and the ridges stand defiantly arranged, bleached out by the sun, where the footsteps call to come to a front porch always covered from the rain. And it took so long for me to realize that the wood and stones don't matter anyway, 'cause the family was the gold, all the love that a heart can hold. Love is the home, the house is just a place to stay. Love is the home, the house is just a place to stay. And you are my home. 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 Yeah, you are my home.
Thank you very much, sir. I don't think Minnow's received a proper introduction yet. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Minnow.
There she is, everybody.
Sounds really good.
Thanks.
I think that Gibson was made for this room.
Oh, I know.
Sounds beautiful.
Right when we got here, that was the first thing I did was I put the guitar case down and I just kind of walked around the room, just strumming chords. Just, I mean,
Such a beautiful
it's.
sound.
I was talking to Casey and I was saying, taking pictures or like probably hearing it online is a little bit like taking the pictures of the moon.
Yeah.
Like you just, until you're in this room, you really can't. It's magic.
Yeah, you got to really feel it.
Yeah, it's magic.
Outstanding.
It really is.
So we had talked a while back. We're talking about the creative process, and you said something along the lines of creativity is a muscle.
Right.
And I feel like if you put the time into, say, weightlifting that you do into making music, you'd be built like The Rock.
That's it.
Because you put so much effort into the creative process.
Yeah. No, you nailed it. That's exactly what it is. That's, as a songwriter, you go. There's a change that happens when you first start out. And me myself, it was, I needed to have a little buzz or this or that, and I was always looking for like inspiration.
Yeah.
And the more you do it, the more you realize that you don't need any of that stuff.
Yeah.
That they're crutches, relying on waiting for inspiration. And that was one of the things I learned from that songwriting group was, getting those prompt words and having 2 weeks to write. Granted, some of the stuff you write is absolute trash. You hate it. But without forcing yourself to do it over and over, you wouldn't come across. Most of these songs that I'm playing tonight are songs from that. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't have gotten those had I not gone to the gym and worked out. Had I not, just said, you know what, maybe I don't feel like writing today, but I'm going to. And maybe I don't write the whole song in one day, but I'm gonna at least write a verse, or I'm gonna edit something. I'm gonna put in a little bit of time on it, and I'm gonna make my deadline.
So were there times where I seem to recall some of the songwriting challenges were a song a day? You'd get a prompt every day?
So I joined that group at the absolute wrong time. They had never done that before, and it was right when the lockdown happened, and so Sarah Morris had asked me to join the group like a year before, and I was scared. I was like, I don't know if all that's in me. Silly to think about that now, but it took me a year, and right when I joined, everything shut down, and then Laurel, the lady that runs the group, was like, we're going to do 30 songs in 30 days. And I was like, it's absolutely horrifying, like the idea of actually, and I was like, I'm going to give it a whirl. And I talked to another buddy, and they're like, I'll do it with you, but I'm just going to write 30-second songs. I'm like, man, just don't even do it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
go all in.
Yeah, just go in. And I honestly, I don't think I got a song out of that I played.
Really?
No.
But you were exercising that muscle.
But I was exercising that muscle, and so they had put out a calendar. It had all the days of the month, and every day had a different word or phrase. Wow. And yeah. And I hit I remember hitting 2 low points in that. It was probably about 6 songs in. I was like, what chord now? I mean, there's only 12 notes. What am I going to do now? And then you learn to start coming at it in a different direction. So I started to, I would pick up a mandolin. I'd come at it with a mandolin. Okay. Or I did one on piano. And then I was like, okay, just change the medium that you're using to write the song, or write it as a vocal melody first. And then that was where I learned to write full songs without any music.
Okay.
I just would get a cadence, and I would just write the lyrics.
So like writing poetry.
Yeah, like writing poetry, and then I would do. I think Jason Isbell talks about the crossword puzzle process a lot, and then I would do that. I would scan this large story that I had, and I would say, all right, here's the main points that I want to hit, and then it's moving around a lot of, the, but, and, to, with, all moving around little words to make things.
And sort of trimming the fat.
Yep, and making things fit, doing the crossword puzzle part. I learned to do that, and so it taught me a lot about how to do that. And now when I started writing songs, I would write from a guitar starting point, and then I would put words to that. I don't write that way anymore. Now I write the lyrics almost before I even ever touch a guitar.
Do you have sort of a melody in mind when you approach it, or just kind of a cadence to it?
Sometimes there's a cadence at least, like a rhythm. There's a rhythm to it, and you don't want it to be too regimented where you're da 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 da. You don't want to do that. You want to crossbar lines and stuff. So that's where the creativity of that process comes in. And then a lot of times what I'll do is I'll read through it and I'll go, how does that make me feel? And then I'll pick the music that I think would fit that. And I like that process. That's kind of where I've been writing from lately. Like in the last year.
And so it feels like being a part of that songwriting group and going through those exercises on a regular basis was a real sea change for you as far as being a songwriter.
I can't thank Sarah enough
Yeah.
for asking me to do that.
Yeah.
It was absolutely horrifying and frightening to start, and now I can't imagine. If you're a singer or a songwriter, join a group, work with your peers, turn in songs, let people critique your stuff, do the workout. Don't rely on I'm inspired today, or
Yeah.
because then what happens is when you actually are inspired, you have the tools to take that inspiration and really turn it into something magical,
Yeah, so just going through that effort, just doing that work every day, even if you're writing songs, like you said, you wrote 30 of them that you probably never touch again, you'll never look at again, but it's that practice and it's that effort so that when you do have that inspiration, you've got a method, a process.
And the other part of that that's really important is that when you are in a group like that, okay, of course, so what I do is I don't listen to anybody's songs before I turn mine in. And then part of the group is you need to listen to other people's songs. You can't just turn in songs and get feedback and just, sponge off the group. You're expected to listen to other people's songs and then do the same, give them feedback on their stuff. And as you do that, you hear, oh, this is a really, sorry, but you borrow and you steal. Yeah. You're like, wow, that is a great way to do a pre-chorus. Wow, I've never thought about doing a bridge that way. Or what a cool chord combination. So working with those people, you also inherit some of their skills. And like Andy Olseth is one of my very favorites.
Yeah.
I can't say enough about his songwriting.
Well, and you've taken the opportunity with the radio show that you do on WELY up in Ely, Color of My Radio, Minnesota Music Hour, and you've introduced a lot of those artists, Sarah Morris primarily among them, Andy Olseth, another great one, one of my personal favorites, Nigel Egg.
Oh, Nigel.
Absolutely amazing
Nigel
songwriter.
is magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's magical.
So
if you haven't heard Nigel Egg, you need to hear Nigel Egg. Yeah.
Well, what a great opportunity to be able to take the people that are involved in this that otherwise might not normally perform, might not get airtime on the radio, and give them some of that exposure and bring some of it to light.
Yeah, well, that's how that show came about. Was I don't know what anybody calls success, but as our band started to do really good, you want to find a way to give back.
Yeah, bring up other artists.
Right, and then at the same time, when I started this, we had these things called compact digital discs. I don't know if you guys know what these are, but
heard about
and we would swap them all the time, right? Yeah. And I ended up with a collection of music that I was just like, why isn't this on the radio?
Yeah.
And it just had to happen. So I just started collecting, and then Rich Manson gave me a treasure trove of music when I first started that show. He dropped off a cardboard box of about 60 albums of bands that he's recorded, all Minnesota music, and I was just like, I'll just be in my studio for a while. So right. I got to listen to everybody, and it was just
awesome.
Yeah, so that's what that show is.
So now you're working with a new crew of musicians called Woodsong Souvenir.
Yep. Caleb Littler, our accordion player, is here right now tonight. That's all acoustic group. We've got Matt Jarva on drums, Lynn Evanson on stand-up bass, Jill Burks on violin, Caleb Littler on the accordion. We've got Rob Wheeler playing guitar, and then I'm playing guitar and singing. 6-piece, all acoustic.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So very different approach from the rock band, the Christopher David Hanson Band.
Yeah,
kind of taking a new
I've got the
direction.
bar band, and that's fun.
Yeah.
We still do that, and it's I'm clean and sober. I'm not really that into the bar life.
I imagine so. Yeah.
I kind of grew up on that stuff, and those places get a hold of you, and they want shows, and that's that band. And it's we leaned it down. It's 3 pieces now, so now we can travel. We can travel out of state. We can go anywhere, and it's makes it cost effective. It's hard to travel around and make money with the bigger groups.
Sure. So what's your tour schedule looking like now? I know Christopher David Hanson Band playing with Rich Mattson and the North Stars at Ely's Historic State Theater next month.
Yep.
Looking forward to that show.
Yep. The schedule's pretty packed for the summer, and then I've kind of been just taking the winters easy the last few. I kind of got lazy after COVID. I was like, I don't know if I really want to go out on the road that much anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I like it, but my bedtime is 10. I don't want to be out till midnight.
The road can
anymore.
be exhausting.
It's exhausting. But yeah, no, we still do it. We do about, I guess we're doing about, 70 shows a year.
Okay. Do you have any Woodsong souvenir shows planned?
We haven't planned any yet. We're working on an album. It's called A Handful of Sundays, and that's when we get together. We get together like 1 or 2 Sundays every month, and we just we have a Dropbox where we share the songs.
Okay.
Everybody learns at home, and then we come and we play. And these are all like very seasoned musicians. Caleb, he's a music major at UMD. I'm a music school kid. Jill Burks is. Lynn Evanson is a music school graduate, and Matt Jarva teaches music at, like, these are, when we get together, there's no babysitting or work.
Yeah.
It's just,
That's really nice.
yeah, it's super nice, and it's the kind of group too. We could set up on a sidewalk. No, we don't need a PA. No, nothing.
That's great.
Just set up in a park.
It feels like it's sort of a maturity phase in your life to to get to that point where you can simplify and play with real seased professionals that know their part, and you can just get together and play. That's gotta feel great.
There's not one effect pedal anywhere. Not one. Yeah, no, it's great. It's definitely something that I'd always wanted to do. Caleb and I are kind of the ones I bought a stand-up bass from him, and then we started chatting, and we decided to put it together, and then it just kind of rolled downhill and turned into a big old band.
Outstanding.
Yeah, so super fun.
Well, we're looking forward to hearing a lot more from you, from Christopher David Hanson Band and Woodsong Souvenir, and you still perform a lot solo as well. So.
Yep, doing a lot of solo shows, and a lot with the three-piece band right now, and then probably start Woodsong Souvenir stuff near the end of winter, and maybe a show a month. I think we're really only interested in playing. We're not gonna play bars.
Yeah.
Parks and coffee places and, ticket shows and theaters and fun stuff, Stuff where you can bring your grandma and little kids and...
Perhaps a more well-behaved audience.
Yeah. Home by 9 at night. I know. Times have changed.
Yeah. Well, thanks so much for sharing your story and sharing your music here with us. It's really been a pleasure, and I appreciate you bringing me along for this as well.
Yeah, they asked, who would you like to have interview? And I was like, oh, I know. And I wanted to say thanks to Ron Coetzee, too, because he reached out to Mark, and I know Ron's at home listening right now. Hi, Ron. And just wanted to say thanks for talking to Mark, and thanks, Mark, for having me out. And thanks, Eric. Thanks, everybody.
You want to play one more song for us?
Yeah.
All right, and thanks to Minnow. Let's hear it for Minnow one more time. And thanks again for joining us here on Live from the Heart, the Songwriters Storytellers series. A big thanks to Eric Swanson for running sound for us tonight. Jose Leon and his crew for the video production as well. Live from the Heart is brought to you by Sacred Heart Music Center with support from the Minnesota State Arts Board. You can go to sacredheartmusic.org to find out what's coming next. Aurora Bear on July 12th is the next event here. Be sure to follow Sacred Heart on Facebook and Instagram, and again, sacredheartmusic.org. Thank you so much for being here. And one more time to take us home, Christopher David Hanson.
And we better give Brett Ross a big hand of applause. Come on now.
Thank you very much. One more time, Christopher David Hanson.
What lies beneath the patina of civility? What kind of animals are we just running amok? Out here lost in space, trying to build a better place. That might be reason enough. Find ourselves kicking stones and shoveling all about, hyper-fixated on all the pretty lights and all the sounds. Shop for attention in this haberdashery, the outfits and the makeup, the costume jewelry. When in line for the next big thing, starstruck in this animus in service to the king. But if it's all so random like there just might not be a point. In the midst of this tradition, we just keep on going. Yeah, now what lies beneath the circus tent of rivalries? Seem like we settled on the ways of the gun. And I'm out here hoping blind that someday the love we find just might be reason enough. Oh yeah. Reason why there's a dark and there's a light. Reason why the little things can make you smile or make you cry. Hand off the helix suspended in our blood. The nature and the nurture taking turn to raise the young. Take our chances every time we leave the house. The comedy and the tragedy, the monster and the mouse. But if there's no master plan, just some highlights while we wait in line, well, love seems like a reasonable waste of my time. Yeah, what lies beneath the patina of civility? What kind of animals are we just running amok? Well, I'm out here lost in space, trying to build a better place. That might be reason enough. You want to sing with me? It goes na 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 na. Do it again. Na 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 na. Yeah. We're out here hoping blind that someday the love we find just might be reason enough. We're gonna do that one more time. It goes na 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 na. All right. Na 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 na. Well, out here lost in space, trying to build a better place. That might be reason enough. Well, that might be reason enough. Well, it might be reason enough. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, that was super fun.